Hi everyone, this is Sadie Lady Crazy Plant Lady and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're actually going to spend a couple of hours moving all of the houseplant babies from inside to outside. It's finally gotten above 50 throughout the evenings here in Kentucky. So I love to move my houseplants outdoors for the summer season. Grow a lot better. I don't have to fuss with them as much as I do indoors. The pest issues aren't as bad. So that's what we're going to be doing today. And I'll talk you through some of the things that I follow in order to get all my plants acclimated outside. I don't do it to the perfect T on how you should. I'm very impatient and I like to have all of my plants outside and displayed really quickly. So that's kind of what I follow. And the ones that don't do well, and that's just how I pick through my collection and get the ones that perform the best for the way I garden. I'll show you guys that entire process. And with this new house that we bought, we have about a little under half an acre. So my backyard is huge and I'm very excited to be able to display the houseplants there. And I have a really beautiful maple tree that I can hang a lot of my hanging plants from. So that's what we're gonna do today. So I hope you enjoy this. If you have any tips or tricks that you guys follow for a speedy plant acclimation to the outdoors, let me know in the comment section below. And please like, subscribe, and comment below if you enjoyed this video. So let's go ahead and get started and move all of the houseplant babies outside. Going back to the lack of patience that I have when it comes to moving out my houseplants for summer, I actually did this entire process about 2 weeks ago before really paying attention to the weather. And we had 2 freezes last week, so I had to move everything back in. So if a lot of the plants are moved around from some of my previous videos, that is why. Before the frost came, we just kind of shoved everything in a spot and didn't really worry about the light requirements, as I was going to be moving them out soon anyways. That being said, paying attention to the weather forecast in your area is the #1 way to make sure your houseplants are successfully acclimated outdoors. Any temperature below 50 normally is not good for a lot of these tropical houseplants, and they thrive much better with temperatures above 50 degrees. To start off, I'm moving all of the plants out of the entire house and just simply sitting them on our concrete patio out back. This area gets a lot of extremely intense sunlight throughout the day, so I'm not going to be keeping them here. But this just simply eliminates the amount of traffic throughout the house that I have to do in order to move all of the plants outside. With all of the hanging plants that I had sitting behind our sectional sofa, I decided to hang them from this absolutely beautiful maple tree right above Cody's hammock oasis. I thought this would be a lot of fun, and it gives them dappled sunlight so they're not going to scorch. The rest of the plant material, I'm simply moving it off of the concrete patio and placing it in little sections. So a few sections that I have is alocasias, because a lot of them have mealybugs. I'm putting them in a group together so I can wash them off and maintain them and try to get the pest. The other sections I have are shade plants, so a lot of the Hoyas and epiprimums and things like that are also grouped together. And then the last grouping is all of my cacti and succulents. And then this way I can kind of shade out as many plants as possible. This is one of the shadiest areas in our yard, so it gets early morning sun exposure, which will be perfectly fine for a lot of these plants to acclimate outdoors. Any other area of my yard is extremely sunny, so those would be horrible areas to place your plants at first because they're not used to that intensive sunlight. Being this is a temporary placement for a lot of these plants, I will eventually start to move the plants to their final locations once they are acclimated to the sunlight. So throughout the next couple of weeks, I'll start moving cacti and succulent into brighter light areas and setting their final locations throughout the garden. While I'm moving around all of the houseplants, something that I'm paying attention to is whether or not the plants need water, whether they have pest or disease damage and things like that. So then later on I can go through and maintain the plants and take care of those different situations. Overall, the main things that you want to focus on when moving your houseplants outdoors is 1, the temperatures being above 50 degrees, to the sun exposure, because even things like cacti and succulents will scorch in the full sun because they're not acclimated to those types of conditions. Now that all of the plant babies are outside in the shaded area of the yard, I'm just going through and making sure everything is well watered. As they are outside, they're going to dry out much quicker, so I'm making sure everything is happy before the sun starts to come out in the coming days. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it's not the perfect explanation on how I move everything outside, because like I said at the beginning, I'm just impatient and I like getting all of my plant babies outdoors. And let me know in the comments below if you'd be interested in a garden tour. I have planted a lot of stuff in our new garden recently from everything that I bought from work, and I would love to show you guys. So I know Say You Lady Crazy Plant Lady on Instagram is usually strictly houseplants, but I'm a true crazy plant lady even outdoors as well. So I would love to share that passion with you guys as well. So please leave a comment in the comment section if that's something you guys would be interested in, and I'll see you next week.